Master Duel's new Limit 1 festival has a problem that not many people seem to realize so far. Now, I do want to open this video with the fact that I am super excited for this festival. Like, I am so hyped. I am more hyped for this festival than any other festival so far. It's actually insane. I just love these like Highlander formats. I love being forced into like singular cards, having to get really creative with your building. However, there is one little issue that people don't seem to completely realize yet, and I just didn't realize it at first either. And that is budget. As you know, on this channel, I have in the past always talked about like budget builds. Oh, you can make this deck and maybe you only need like 1 UR, maybe you only need like 2 URs and 3 SRs, trying to make builds like that so that people who either don't have a lot of gems because they already spent them on their other decks, or they don't want to spend their gems yet because they're waiting for another deck, or they don't know what deck they want yet, and so forth. Basically, a lot of reasons why someone wants to be budget in this game, right? However, when I try to do it for this event, I started noticing, damn, this is much harder this time. Now, why is this? Essentially, whenever I start a budget build, let's say, right, I always look for, okay, which archetype has a decent boss that the whole budget build can rely on? Maybe there's like one single UR you need that completely carries the deck. Or maybe there's like a couple SRs that completely carry the deck. Usually, you can get away with something. However, because every card is limited to 1, suddenly all of the normals and rares tied to that one super powerful boss that you then have to craft are all limited. So rather than having like 20 really good cards tied to 1 UR, suddenly you have like 7 really good lower rarity cards tied to the 1 UR, and now you need to still fill the rest of your main deck with other cards. When I started building in my previous video for the Limit 1 festival, people start noticing, hey, your whole deck is URs and SRs. And that is essentially what happens when all the best cards, first of all, are UR and SR, but then secondly, you're forced out of playsets. So while it's possible you might have like many URs, you know, you have your 3 Maxi, you have your 3 Ash, you have your 3 Veiler or whatever, that already takes 9 slots. This time, those cards take only 3 slots. Now you need other powerful cards in those slots. And so suddenly you're kind of being forced into like owning a bunch of one-offs that you maybe previously didn't own yet. It's also possible that you're forced into blending 2 decks that previously maybe didn't have to be blended, but this time this is the only way for you to reach 40. And so suddenly you need all of the URs from both archetypes, and so once again you're doubling your deck cost. For example, I tried to build Limit 1 Striker, and I noticed, hey, there's nowhere near enough Striker cards. Well, maybe I can smash Limit 1 Eldritch into it, but again, suddenly you're building 2 decks rather than 1. Now, another reason that it is actually necessary to have all of this crafting material for this particular event is that while previous events generally had powered down formats because everyone was forced into only normals and rares, or everyone was only forced into fusions, or only forced and so forth, now that won't be the case. People can freely play all of the craziest engines and the craziest boss monsters, except for, you know, the few banned ones, but still, you will have very high-powered decks. You will be playing against people who have every staple as a one-off, together with a bunch of really powerful engines, and so the format won't actually be powered down that much. So suddenly, your lower power budget deck also has a harder time competing, where other events pushed down the power level overall. This one, you know, might make it less consistent, but power levels don't really go down all that much, except for, of course, you know, no longer having Verte DPE. For this reason, and basically all the reasons I have listed so far, building budget for this event is much harder. Now, am I still excited for it? Absolutely. Like I said, I love these kind of deck building challenges, but budget-wise, it's really hard. I will be releasing some budget-ish videos. Like right here, I had started on a budget build. I was just thinking, okay, what are the good cards, putting them together, and then, I don't know, I'm not really finding any solid engines. I hope I will find some. I'm sure other people will be finding some. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments down below. But for now, I honestly think the very best strategy is literally using the Rocket Loner. That thing seems to be the closest you'll get to a good deck without spending gems. I would literally go to the Limit 1 festival, go to Loners, and then grab this Dragon Link deck. Like, I mean, it's not Dragon Link, it's Rocket. It's kind of the same thing anyway. I think the amount of power you're getting out of this deck is gonna be so much better than any budget build could ever give you. I don't know. Maybe someone else figures something out. I will absolutely keep you updated then, but this seems to be the way to go. Hope you found this interesting. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Ciao.